Hi, I'm Giselle Abramovich, Associate Editor at Mobile Marketer. And today we have Michael Chang, CEO of Greystripe, here to talk about his outlook on mobile advertising. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Giselle.
Well, my first question is, what do you think the present state of mobile advertising is?
Well, I think we're in a really interesting time in mobile advertising where a lot of the companies have gotten fairly well established. Companies like ourselves have gotten established, and now we're really into a fast growth period where we're reaching out to advertisers. We have a lot of inventory to sell to them, and they really understand the value proposition of what mobile advertising can provide.
What do you think it's going to take for consumers to accept advertising on their mobile phones?
Well, I think they already are accepting advertising. I think advertising is always a communication from the advertiser or the brand reaching out to the end consumer, and it really is a matter of getting a good message to that end consumer. So I think they already are. In our case, we're giving the end consumer a free mobile game, and we're putting advertising on top of that. And so there's a really good exchange there, a really good communication vehicle for that advertiser. And yeah, consumers are definitely accepting it.
Everyone keeps talking about opening the walled garden. Could you just explain how that would affect carriers?
Absolutely. So just to explain very quickly, the walled garden is really the carriers restricting certain applications or certain services in mobile from accessing the data networks. And so what that's done is that's caused, in some sense, a lack of innovation in the mobile industry because new services can't flourish in the mobile environment. I think actually how it affects the carriers if they lower the walled gardens, in some sense, giving that access to these new and innovative services, is that we'll see an explosion of these of this innovation. And I think in the end of the day, that's actually very, very good for carriers. They will take advantage of all the new usage, and I think we'll see a lot more of these innovations that, for instance, have happened online that haven't happened yet in mobile.
Can you talk about Greystripe's overall mobile strategy going forth in this year?
Absolutely. So our mobile strategy, and maybe I'll explain our business model just a little bit, is that we are a distribution platform. We deliver great, high-quality mobile games free to the end consumer, and when the application or game gets onto the end consumer's handset, we then deliver advertisements through that, and we aggregate that inventory and sell that to the advertisers. So for us going forward, it's a continuation of our existing strategy, really building on the three areas of our business. The first one is selling advertisement, the ad space, to the advertiser. The second one is continuing to get great content for the end user. So these are the games. Some of the games that we have are from wonderful publishers like Digital Chocolate, Vivendi Mobile Games, Skyzone, Ojam. A very long list. We have about 100 publishers. So continuing to work with our publishers, getting great games out to the end consumer. And then the last piece is increasing the number of touch points that our end consumers can find ad-supported games. And so building our syndication and distribution network to get more games to more touch points.
So where is mobile going? What's your outlook for it for the next couple of years?
So for the next couple to even beyond, for the next 5 years, let's say, we definitely see this explosion. I think it gets back to two questions that you touched on. If the carriers are lowering the walled gardens, that's that explosion in innovation of services that we'll see. And I think over the next 2 to 5 years, that's a really formative period where we're going to start to see this innovation. I liken it to a similar time on the internet, where once the internet became more and more used by consumers, broadband became cheaper, then we saw huge innovations like what Google has done. Mm-hmm. So we're going to see the same things in the mobile industry as the walled gardens have continued to be lowered. And then I think we're also in a period where we're seeing a complete shift in business models, really being able to not have the end consumer pay for specific services in mobile, but actually making them, in our case, obviously ad-supported. So that's a big shift. We're no longer having the end consumer have to pay for it. So it really simplifies some of the user experience things, some of the complexities and complaints that they've had, for instance, billing and those sorts of issues. So getting advertisers to pay for it now again, that's a continuation of seeing this innovation happen.
Can you think of some really good mobile advertising that is stuck in your head?
I think what we're seeing in mobile advertising is a little bit of a separation of the different ad mediums. So, and what I mean by that is we're seeing certain ads tending to be very good for lead generation or direct response, and these are like banners or mobile search. And then we're seeing the more what we consider the more memorable ads. We're seeing the brand advertising really come out for brand advertisers. And most of what we do is for the brand advertiser. And one of the really memorable ones recently was an ad campaign that we ran for Diet Coke. And what was so memorable was it was a great, very large full screen impression, and then it jumped to an actual survey. So the survey was, what is the plus in Diet Coke Plus? And so very, very memorable, very catchy. The user would then select in the mobile web page, what they thought was the plus. I don't know. Do you know what the plus is?
No, I don't.
Okay.
What's the plus?
The plus is vitamins.
Okay.
Vitamins and minerals, and plus other additives. But a bunch of answers like extra bubbles, more sugar. So it was really fun, and immediately they were able to see the results of that survey. So they got to see everybody else's answers as well as their own answer. And we obviously highlighted what the correct answer was. But I think that highlights something that can be very, very memorable in mobile, which is this, these new and innovative branded ad campaigns that we're running.
So a lot of companies are using mobile as an extension of what they're already doing in traditional media. Can mobile stand alone?
Yeah, I definitely feel that mobile can stand alone. Definitely in the two areas of ad mediums that I talked about, the lead gen and the brand. In both of those cases, they can absolutely stand alone. Although I do think the trend in the advertising industry, we talk to a lot of brands and agencies, is that they really are looking for a 360 campaign. And what that means for the brand or the ad agency is really doing, cross different media types. So cross mobile, digital, online, throwing in some pre-roll video in front of casual games, for instance. So for them, we really think the trend is going more towards different media types, and then mobile will become an important component to it, and a larger and larger component of it.
Michael, thank you so much for stopping by. We hope to see you again soon.
Thanks, Giselle. Really, really appreciate the time as well.